Hello fabulous friends and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Bang Bang Von Loola and I am a burlesque dancer and producer as well as a beauty enthusiast. Today we are going to be playing around with some new makeup products, some like applicators and a bunch of random stuff I've been collecting over the last couple months. Now that I am officially self-quarantined in a really big way, I decided that what better way to spend my time than creating content for this channel and for you all to learn some random stuff that I think is cool. I thought it would be fun to try all these new products with a specific makeup look in mind, and I decided on trying to recreate a Biba girl look. If you haven't heard of Biba before, it was a fashion store in the 1960s and 70s. It was started by a woman named Barbara Pulaniki. They started off with gingham shift dresses with matching headscarves. Bridget Bardot made that matching shift dress and headscarf thing super popular in the 60s, so they were very smart to start with that because a lot of people wanted to emulate that look because Bridget Bardot was really iconic at the time. And eventually they did move into some makeup products. The Biba makeup style was super cool because it was kind of like a 1920s, 30s sort of flapper starlet feel mixed with 60s and 70s aesthetic. So very bright, vibrant colors, kind of darker in a lot of areas, like a dark lip, and very beautiful blue coloring on the eye. I'll put a little insert of one of their suggested sort of mapping out of how to be a Biba girl and using their makeup. Twiggy was one of the models for Biba, and I'm gonna put some photos of her doing her Biba thing, and I love the look on her. I mean, Twiggy's cool, but I think Twiggy is especially cool when wearing Biba styling. I just love the look. It's just kind of timeless and very dramatic. I think that with everything I have here, we should be able to recreate a pretty bangin' Biba look. I'm really excited to try all this new stuff I've been hoarding for the last few months, and note that I'm hoarding makeup and not toilet paper. Like literally, I cannot find toilet paper anywhere where I live. My mom had to send me some from nearly across the country, so that's cool. Also, one more quick note. Remember to keep up your face and skincare during quarantine. I know it's really easy, and it has been for me, to kind of let it go down and not take care of myself that way just because of the overwhelming situation we find ourselves in. But I am recently back on the train of really working on my skincare, and I'm trying a bunch of new products out. And I'm breaking out a little as a result of that, but that's just my skin getting used to the new stuff. But overall, besides looking in the monitor a little ratchet, I'm feeling pretty good, and I'm very excited to try this new look. Just raw dog it, see what happens. Alright, so we're gonna start off with hair. I've done nothing with my hair for like weeks now, so I'm excited to give it a little curl. And I'm gonna be trying out a new extension on this curling iron that I got recently, and I destroyed the box trying to open it, so I'll put the details right up here, whatever makes the most sense. But I am excited. We're gonna do some very tight little sort of wavy curls with this guy. Let's go ahead and get a curl. So I'm just gonna take pretty small sections. I could honestly go smaller than this, but I don't want this to take forever and I lose my natural light here in this room. So I'm just gonna take it, wrap around the tip, and do a little twirl in and just hold it there for a few seconds. Okay, so you see here that I didn't quite get the end in. This is like adorable little coil here, but the tip is odd. So we are going to use the heat-proof glove that came with this set of curling irons. Just so I don't burn the ever-loving heck out of myself, and so that we have a completed curl. So I'm just gonna take that little tip and... Ooh. Oh my god! Look how cute it is! We're gonna speed up the rest. I'm just gonna go all around my head with this guy, so Yeah, let's see how much volume we can get. This is gonna be nuts when I brush it. I'm pretty excited to see how nuts it will be. Alright, so this is what we're looking at here as far as tiny, tiny little barrel curling iron. Let's go ahead and do a little comb through with my hands and see where that gets us. Look how big it is. So fluffy. Well, that's awesome. That's kind of what I assumed would happen when I use that barrel. I like the look. It'll work for what we're going for today. So heck yeah, that interchangeable curling iron. Really stoked about it. And I only burned myself like 2 times, so that's good. So I cleaned up around my eyebrows. And traditionally, these Biba looks have a really thin brow, but I'm going to go for that really fluffy kind of boy brow thing because I don't feel like covering my brows today. But we are going to start off with an eyelid primer, and I'm using the e.L.F. Shadow Lock eyelid primer in the sheer shade. I'm going to start off with some pretty fun bright blue. And today I'm going to be trying for my first time the Beauty Glaze Color Fusion Over the Rainbow palette. And I got this on the Amazon. I'll put a little link to it. But I'm pretty excited. I mean, the colors are really, really cool. I did some swatches earlier in the week and they seem pretty well pigmented. So let's get some brushes dirty. Okay, so here's some progress. I really like how this sort of peacocky blue-green is blending into the blue beneath, and I know it looks crazy, but we're just gonna go ahead and go. Okay, still looking pretty crazy. I swear this will come together. I hope this will come together. But I really like the color payoff so far from this palette. It's very inexpensive. You can see obviously there's some fallout here, but that's to be expected when using pigments like this. Okay, now we're gonna try another new product, and that is the e.L.F. Poreless Putty Primer in Universal Sheer. And this is the primer that broke the internet. So I've read that it's really good for helping diminish pores, and it's also very moisturizing. So I just took some and rubbed it between my hands, and I'm gonna just press it into the skin. Okay, so that's all in. Feels pretty good. It does feel more moisturizing. I was a little concerned that it was going to feel super silicone-y because I cannot stand that kind of primer personally, but it feels good. It has a little bit of tackiness, so I feel like those products that have a little trouble sticking to the skin will definitely do a better job. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with the foundation that I use for show makeup, and that is the Cinema Secrets Ultimate Foundation. So I'm going to go in directly with a brush and then blend it out. So I blended out that foundation on top of the e.L.F. Putty Primer with a beauty sponge that was wet. And I feel like, compared to what I usually prime my skin with, which is the Mario Badescu Skincare Facial Spray, it was a little harder to move around than using that product comparatively, but it does feel good. I don't super suffer from large pores, but the areas that I'm most concerned about with that are my nose, and it does seem pretty good. I mean, Nothing to write home about, honestly, and I tend to not use primers at all besides that facial spray, but I'm kind of glad to have it in my arsenal, and I'll try it with some other foundations that I wear, so not so bad. I think I'm going to move on to some concealer. So in an effort to battle the creasiness under my eyes, I purchased the Tarte Creaseless Concealer, and I bought the color Medium Sand, and I found that it was very, very close to the Maybelline concealer that I use that's called Sand. It's the Fit Me Maybelline concealer. It's a very, very similar color, and it's honestly slightly too light for me, but I haven't been able to go and exchange this because of quarantine, so I'm just gonna make it work. Let's go ahead and just pop some of this on. So I'm putting it on just like kind of randomly because I'm going to be adding so much more color underneath the eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and blend that out again with the beauty sponge. So there's nothing wrong with how light it is, generally speaking. It works for a highlighter, but because I suffer from genetic eye bags, when I go too light with my concealer, it actually brings more attention to them. So my goal is to find this concealer in the same shade as my usual foundation, but I like the formula a lot. Okay, so I'm going to set my foundation and my concealer with some Airspun powder by Coty, the old school powders. To add powder under the eyes, I'm going to try another new thing I bought, which is the Real Techniques sponge that's specifically made for powder. It's got this kind of velvety finish on it, and I'm going to use it just under the eyes and see how it works out. That was pretty cool. It does seem to lay down powder a little bit differently than if I were to go in with the regular sponge that doesn't have that sort of fuzzy finish. It seems to not pick up as much of the product underneath the powder, which sometimes I notice that this will like agitate and move some of the concealer or foundation I've already put down, where this did not as much. So yeah, heck yeah, the Real Techniques sponge for powder. Alright, so let's go back down to the eyes. Maybe like a little bit more purple. I noticed that this doesn't have too much lavender-y things in it, kind of, this one, but I think we're going to play around with the purple shades and see how it goes. I will say that the purple color, the lighter one, is a little bit more powdery and a little bit more fallout than the other colors so far in this palette, but I'm not upset at it. It works out. It is pigmented enough. I think it's sweet. So yeah, I think now I'm gonna pop on some eyeliner just to kind of polish off the eyes a little bit. Okay, I literally just threw on some eyeliner to give a little bit more definition around the eyes, and I think we're gonna just let that chill for a sec because I haven't really decided how I should actually proceed. So why don't we go ahead and add a little contour and do the brows. I'm going to be using a newer product, and that is the Wow Brow by e.L.F. It's very similar to the Boy Brow by Glossier, and I really, really like it. It makes my eyebrows look really groomed and awesome, even if I'm not wearing any color underneath. This is a wonderful colored sort of gel, and it has a tiny, adorable brush that has some like fibers in the formula to help lengthen, and it's just fabulous. Okay, so I'm going to move down to the cheeks. Now the Biba look is very iconic in that sort of very high, bright, bold colored cheek that almost blends into the eyeshadow. So I'm going to be going into an old blush palette of mine from Coastal Scents, and we're gonna use, I think, a mix between these two colors here and see what we come up with. I think I'm gonna also add some highlight, but not to the top of my cheeks, but underneath the eye. So I'm gonna try one of my NYX Chromatic highlighters, and this one is Lavender Steel. And I'm just gonna pop that on underneath the eye to add a little bit more of a glow. If we're gonna be honest, I'm not super stoked about how it's looking up here. I feel like the overall look's looking a bit clown-like, kind of. That might be just because I don't have lashes on right now, but I think I'm gonna kind of blend this out further, cover some of that green with some blue, and kind of diffuse it a little bit. Alright, I like that a lot better. I will say that it seems to be getting a little patchy right here. And that could be just I didn't quite get enough of the eyeshadow primer in that area, because this side looks fine. I don't think it's really an issue with the formula of the eyeshadow, but just something I noticed. Okay, so I'm gonna pop on some lashes, and we're gonna try a new set of lashes. I don't think I've used this type before. I've definitely used the Salon Perfect fully stacked lashes before, but this is number 630, and it's like two demi wispies that have already been made, like stacked on each other and then put on a strip. So they should give us a nice sort of fluttery doll-like look, which was a very iconic sort of Biba vibe. These lashes are perfect for this look. They're really, really wispy and fluffy. Now, to go back down here, false eyelashes were worn at the bottom lash line. They really liked the twiggy look, that long, defined bottom eyelashes, and frankly, I don't usually do that. Here, I tend to concentrate it here as far as mascara goes, but I'm gonna kind of play around with it, maybe even draw on some little lashes like Twiggy used to, so let's see how that goes. I did add some Twiggy lashes, so here's a little look right here. Put quite a lot more mascara on than I usually would. Yeah, I'm kind of like, it's starting to get there. It's starting to look a little bit more Biba. I'm going to be trying out some new liquid lipsticks, and these are the Anastasia of Beverly Hills, the Coral Collection. And this was a gift from my sweet daughter, Sherry Cush Lightning. Thank you, my darling. I'm very excited to try. And honestly, these colors aren't quite right for a Biba look, so I'm going to try them by themselves and then add a colored gloss on top. But just to give a little review of how I think the liquid lipstick is on its own, we'll use that as the base. The Biba lipstick look was very, very close to the 1920s sort of Clara Bow look, so very over-defined at the top and then small at the bottom. So I'm going to put some foundation around my lips and then draw the outline. So the lips are lined. I use the Maybelline Totally Toffee lip liner that I'm obsessed with. And I'm going to try the darkest color from that Anastasia gift set, and that is Spicy, is the name of it. But I'm very excited. I've read really good reviews of the formula. I've never tried the Anastasia lipsticks before, so let's just pop it on and see how it feels. I really love the color of the Spicy liquid lipstick by Anastasia of Beverly Hills. Love it. Like, beautiful, orangey, matte, comfortable liquid lipstick. No scent or anything. It's nice, but it's not quite the right look for the Biba makeup. We're going to add a darker gloss because it was very much a vampy dark lip for the most part with the Biba look. So I'm going to go in my stash and find something to pop on top of this. So to add that sort of vampy top layer of color to the lip, I'm going to use the Hard Candy Plumping Serum lip gloss in the shade Skin Deep. Okay, that's definitely closer to the look that I am going for. I believe that some of the Biba girls used to draw a little star on with black eyeliner, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera because it's gonna take a while, and then style my hair and do the final look. So I hope you enjoyed this so far. Let's see how the final look comes out. So that is the completed look. I am super happy with how my hair turned out, with how the eyes look, the blush, the new lipstick, which is a little bit such because I might have just chugged some rosé. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I like all the products that I tried for the first time today, and I'm probably going to do a more in-depth review on some of them, but for just a day of like playing around with makeup, I'm super satisfied. I want to give a big shout out to my mom for introducing me to super cool stuff like Biba and many other things that my mom has introduced me to that are just way too cool and timeless to ever forget. But yeah, I hope that you are all doing the best that you can in the current circumstances, and I'm going to continue to try to bring you videos that inspire artistry within makeup and hair and whatever. Probably going to throw together some other strange, I don't know, clothing videos and burlesque videos coming up here soon, but until then, just remember that even though shit is crazy right now, the future is bright.